Computer. All right. Hello, everyone. This is Lori Michelle Abel of Akashic Soul Mystic, and this is another amazing time traveling session in the Akashic Records. And I am with Diane Sova today. So say hello. And maybe you can tell me a little bit about what you've been up to.
Uh, Editing.
Editing
Editing.
books?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
you were editing my book. Oh,
yeah.
you were
That
editing,
was the latest. Yes.
and you're in my fan club too.
I'm the head of your fan club after reading that. Yes.
So yeah, so Diane is her the only how do I say this? The owner of Global Spirit Editing Publishing.
Publishing. Yes.
Publishing. Yes.
But
So
I
I
am an
highly,
editor.
yes, highly recommend if anyone is needing to get their story heard in the world to contact Diane here on YouTube through the links to then get to her. All right.
Thank
And
you.
so you're welcome. I'm gonna explain a little bit about the Akashic Records to anyone who's just catching this video as my only video that they're watching, but there are a few others published already on the Akashic Soul Mystic channel. So the Akashic Records is a vibration. It's different than tarot or oracle decks because what we're doing is we're looking at the template of the soul of the person's soul and their records from all lifetimes. So a lot of people believe that there's a future and a past. And so in the records, it can feel like, you had an ancient lifetime and it's in the past. Sometimes we'll get future timelines, like you're in a ship or you're working with other councils of light, like the Orion Council, Pleiadian Council, things like that. Other people like Bashar, who's a teacher, teach that everything is always happening in the now moment. It's just vibrationally, things are existing different rates and different vibes. I like to just kind of stick with, okay, here we are sitting at the desk in the now moment, and then I travel usually to the past with people because that's where energy knots are, or juicy stories about things that have happened to the soul, and they connect from the past to the now. And that line of energy usually needs some cleaning and altering, and also belief systems need to be adjusted. And so, in order to do this, we'll start with two steps, and it gets me into the right vibration to reach the records. So, the first step is a white light meditation, and the second step is the pathway prayer, which you can find on Google Images, and it's by Linda Howe, who is one of the biggest names in Akashic Record reading in this country of the United States. And so first what we do is both of us will get grounded in our feet, feeling them on the floor, feeling your seat. And then we take our hands and we start to swish our hands together to make friction and keep the hands.
Ooh.
And just keep it moving, visualizing white light from the earth and the core coming up through each chakra, exploding out the top of the head, white light all around the auric field. And when you feel like your hands are nice and warm, You can stop moving them. And then any pain or energy you want to move on the body, you just start sweeping the body and like you're moving it out away. Mhm. Very good. All right. And then we're going to enter into the prayer. And after I say the prayer, I'll wait. So usually I hear like a little bit of a clicking sound and then see what happens. And so we do acknowledge the forces of light, asking for guidance, direction, and courage to know the truth as it is revealed for our highest good and the highest good of everyone connected to us. O Holy Spirit of God, protect me from all forms of self-centeredness and direct my attention to the work at hand. Help me to know Diane Sova in the light of the Akashic Records, to see Diane Sova through the eyes of the Lords of the Records, and enable me to share the wisdom and compassion that the masters, teachers, and loved ones of Diane Sova have for her. The records are now open. The Palladian energies are here. There's a lot of activation in the throat. And I'm going to ask the masters who are here, please differentiate my information from Diane so that I can differentiate her messages from mine. Thank you. Okay, they're working on the back of your throat with some white light, just a cleanup mission here. So just receiving that healing from the Palladian energies. Mm, wonderful. And now we are working with a Chiron key with gold key of light in the belly. So this transmission is a little more about energy at the moment, and then hopefully you'll get into juicy past lives later. But right now we're getting a nice upgrade. They just want to give you honor for your wisdom and all of the work that you've done and are going to be doing for humanity. Taking time to reward yourself in this moment. So now they're taking us to the lungs, and there's a little heaviness around what they say or call the mysteries. We're going to these beautiful, tall rock type, I'm gonna say creatures, rock creatures, and they're the records of your Hebrew timelines. And the Torah, and some musical notes too in your throat. And they're showing me some books. They're saying books of Abraham to me. Abrahamic texts is what they're saying. So there's little librarians here, which is funny because I don't like to talk teach about librarians, but they're here because you have librarians working on your behalf. They're in the Abrahamic text section right now. They're saying they're very happy. There's a lot of music happening. I see a lot of fire elements too, like from those Hebrew letters. But there's something we will be clearing because I feel it in the left elbow. There's like some old stagnant energy they're gonna get to in a moment. Yes, they're saying in your throat there's a broken record, something that is repeating that we need to look at. So I'm going to call in the owl spirit animal. They're bringing out a magnifying glass to help us see something you've missed in the records. It has something to do with painting also. It's really interesting. Something you did in the Renaissance too, during the Renaissance period. Baroque period as well. Okay, they're taking us to I'm trying to, a salon is what they would call it, like an art salon. And we crossed paths there. You and I crossed paths this at the salon. It's funny. I was a male figure and I had a mustache. They're showing me a mustache. And you are the art dealer there. You're loving my paintings. And this is really exciting because I've been wanting to go to this room to find out more about it. So it's really interesting. Uh, they were saying that the record keepers are saying we had a really good connection there, a good partnership there. Yeah, it has to do with the French Revolution, but there's many of them, so we'll get more on that later. So, gonna ask the angels, master teachers and loved ones of the Akashic Record to please highlight with this magnifying glass what is this broken record that we needs to be looked at and cleared, please. Do you know anyone named Stefan or Stefano?
Stefan in Austria.
Okay, something with this person's coming through. I just stayed with it for a while to see what the name was, but that's what I got was Stefan or Stefano. Okay. He's connecting us to the mysteries. There's a big library between you and him, connected to your communications space. A lot of wisdom coming through. And they're showing me like a gold column. It's like this Baroque column with all this gold leafing and everything between you and him. You shared a lot in the mysteries, mystery schools from Egypt, Israel, Pakistan, Uzbekistan, Turkey, Austria, France, Russia. Ooh, that was a big one. We gotta sit with that for a second. Let's sit with that one. Oh man. Okay, we're gonna focus on the French Revolution energies coming through. Sometimes I get really small pieces and then I'll go somewhere else, time traveling, and it's like, okay, what happened to where we were at? But it sometimes I just travel and then it'll come back around to more information and where we were starting. Okay, just gonna ask the master's teachers in level one of Akashic Records, please, to go reveal any of these missed steps or things that she's not seeing clearly in the pattern. Thank you. It seems like during the French Revolution, you were helping people because you were at a position of power and you were helping people escape through tunnel systems. And because I see maps, and you were able to create them so that people could safely take them and then figure out their way through the tunnel systems. And people were something connected to Turkey as well. But I don't know my geography super, super great, so sometimes I have to reference these things later.
I spent a lot of time in Turkey in this lifetime.
Okay. Okay. It feels like where you were at in the salon in France, um, you were like living there near the salon and working there, but then just relaying information, not really leaving your post. And then I see people taking the maps and then walking other people through, and they're escaping to Turkey to be like sovereign or to break away from the Civil War. Okay, so something with the maps they want to show us, and there's these bright candelabras they would have taken through the tunnel, and so they're showing me that, showing me the map. I'm trying to get there's a name they're telling me, but I don't know what it is yet. It sounds like Al Jazeera. Like I don't know what that relates to, but it's like A something something. A. Okay, so what does she need to know right now about this journey? All I'm getting is that, okay, so now they're taking us to more like a vision of Egypt. And then it's just the message I'm getting is there's so many layers in your records. It's going to be a little hard for me to get them all right now. But you have all these like stacks of mysteries And they're like, well, she's not seeing these mysteries. And I'm like, I know. Okay, we're getting to, we have to unravel it slowly. You have a lot of abundance and connection with Israel, and they're saying there's a lot through your writings, speaking and teaching that, like, I see gold coins connected to that branch, so that would bring you more abundance. So at this point, I'm just going to ask you if you have any questions you prepared.
Uh, what planet? Where did I come from?
Okay. Almost got it. Just, well, it was really confusing because they took me three different places. It took me to Pakistan. They took me to Draco for some reason. So I feel like some stories might be getting clouded. I'm not getting completely clear. So I just kept asking telepathically. And then I got Betelgeuse, the star, which is part of, I just found out is part of the Orion constellation. So there wasn't a direct answer, but let me try to clarify. So I'm going to ask the masters, teachers, and loved ones of the Akashic Records where Diane is from, what her starseed origin is. So I'm getting something like Zahara. I don't know what that means though. I'll have to look it up. Have you ever heard of that before?
No,
Okay.
I
So
just wonder because when I was a little kid, we got a dog in our family. We found him up in the woods in
mhm.
Upper Michigan.
Yeah.
So he was my doggy, and I named him Sirius. And my dad said, what the hell kind of name is that for a dog? But I was adamant, and something else came up like that. But here I was like 5 or 6 years old with that. So I just wondered what that connection was, that I was innocent as a child, didn't know stars or anything. I mean, we grew up on a farm. And anyway, I
Well,
think that
you're
influence has been like I visited there or something.
so your higher self always knows everything about you. And so especially if you're little and you're kind of even just a halfway into meditation, you can tune in. And I'm actually picking up, I looked on Google, there is a Zahara, and but I'm, mainly it's just trying to tell me about other people's music and things like that. So just a second. There's one called Chara, Chara, a G-type main sequence star in the northern constellation of Canis Venatici. So let me just go back into the channel because I think I'm on to something. I just need more information. Okay, calling in the Pleiadian teams of light, calling in the masters, teachers, and loved ones. Clarify Diane's starseed origins. Yeah, I'm still getting the same information like Zahara, and then they're sh saying you're also connected to not Satan, but Setian, the dolphin kingdom. Like they're saying you're really connected to the dolphins and dolphin crystal kingdom. However that connects. Yeah. Any other questions similar to that?
No, well, I don't know, but I had a teacher,
Mhm.
Norton Peacock, and he always said I was like a dolphin. And he bought me some dolphin earrings. We're standing at the beach in Santa Barbara, and he goes, puts his hand behind my ear and said, nice dolphins. And four dolphins leaped right out of the water right there. That's how connected Norin was. He knew me well. And and to have them respond like that, we used to call him energy. So
Okay.
I just think that's an interesting connection too.
Yeah. Okay, let's just go back into the meditation and see where else we go.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask masters, teachers, and loved ones of the Akashic Records to continue showing me this blueprint, Diane's soul blueprint, anything we need to know. Okay, so dolphin for you is also connected to music, and I see you kind of spinning and dancing in spiral energies, dancing clockwise, dancing counterclockwise. Those movements are important for your connection with your astral connections and like establishing your channeling to the astral plane and star beings and the mystery schools, plural. Oh, okay. Now Sedona's coming into your throat and she's telling me what she's told me before. You're working with another dimension of Sedona that other people don't know, and it's getting my hands activated with Reiki energy. But the other dimension you're working with is when Sedona had water and it had dolphins. And so that's why you're anchored there right now is to, I'm seeing you creating like a PDF file. Uh, I mean, just for, okay, so it's telling me the number three could mean a master number three, or could be you write the PDF having the intention it's only 3 pages long. It could be longer, but um, a lot of information coming at once. So this is for the star children of the earth that you're going to be making the PDF because, and I know this from experience researching online in Sedona and trying to find some of this information is very hard to access, it seems like, to find the records of Sedona before it was kind of desert, and it just seems like fireball. And
They
so,
came here for water.
huh?
They came here for water, the native peoples. This was sacred water. It still is, and the water is still here in places.
Right. And so that's what you're going to be writing about. They want you to complete that before you go anywhere. And I keep hearing Wikipedia too. Like you don't have to give it all away for free, but there's something that like you can maybe submit to them so that it comes right up on Wikipedia as a way, I don't know, like a spider web branch for you to be found. Does that make sense?
It does.
Yeah, and then okay, wait, they're getting a ton of visions now. The channel is working. Yay! They're showing me dolphins like spinning and playing and going counterclockwise for some reason. They're anchoring you to the earth. We're going on a journey to the underworld of Sedona, to the core of the earth. And now they're showing me, I'm not sure what this whale is called at the moment. It's the one you would see in SeaWorld that's black and it has the white eye. What's that one?
Okay.
Orca, yeah. Showing me an orca. He's handing me like a feather. He's saying, write about me too. And his specific medicine he's bringing forward in this time. And they're showing me pink calcite. Number three is very important. They're showing me a rock that's pink calcite. And I'm going to kind of use my knuckles as an example. So it's like a rock with three kind of pointy things, but it's all one rock. So would you happen to know how Sedona connects as a ley line to Australia?
Oh, I studied ley lines for ages. Uh, I uh, I also spent a lot of time through Australia. I'd like to go spend a year there
Yeah.
because, and Ayers Rock there, Uluru, is alive. That's the most alive rock I ever met. And I walked the perimeter and uh,
Oh,
it's so intensely strong.
have you ever thought about writing a book? And they're still saying for kids, like the Rainbow Children kind of kids, where they can understand more clearly from a younger age instead of having to wait like us for later, where we find out way
Yeah.
beyond, where they can understand how these sacred sites connect. And they're showing me how I talk about in my book, the song lines.
Yes,
Really, really more popular in Australia, or it's of popular awareness in Australia talking about song lines.
they're becoming more aware.
Well, yeah, and because I
Yeah.
wrote about it too, but um, I'm getting like from your soul record here. It's like there's this little tornado, and she's saying like, "Hey, showing the great mysteries and music notes and dolphins and ley lines, and it's like this beautiful book."
I guess I should write my own, eh? Well, I have them. I mean, I have my writings are here everywhere I travel. I wrote.
So do you have a way of compiling some of the things you already have and then putting that together?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
In fact, it's all in my new you know, in my writing room here. That's part of the reason I moved here to this house.
Okay, so I'm accurate then.
Spot on, I'd say.
Wonderful. Yeah, it's like
But
something.
about these sound lines, I
Oh,
think going deeper into that because it is the vibration and it's those vibrational pathways.
Yeah,
That's what they're talking about when they say sound lines.
right.
And you can hear the earth. I can hear the earth. Uh, in following those lines, I just think my lines go outer earth too.
Outer Earth.
Yeah,
Okay. Just one second. Okay. Um, let's go back in. I see the orca again. What is you maybe you can tell me what the orca symbolizes for you.
strength. I mean, they are friendly. They live up in the cold, in the San Juan Islands, where I planned to retire to, and the orcas travel. They're travelers up and down that whole coast, but they live amongst those islands and they're communal. They communicate a lot with each other, but they live in community, which is interesting.
And you said they live where? What island?
The San Juan Islands up off Washington,
Oh,
Vancouver, in that area.
okay. And what are they
Beautiful
bringing to humanity right now?
peace.
Okay.
I
I'm
don't know why
sure
I
they've
said that.
always been the
That was
same thing, right?
that's just the first word that came is they're peaceful creatures and we can't hear them. We're not listening,
Hmm.
in my humble opinion.
Yeah. But for some reason, even more than the dolphin energy of or the image, I'm seeing orca as like the main. So let's say you had this kid's book. I'm trying to pick something here.
Dolphins are younger.
Oh, okay. I'm just gonna grab something here. Have you ever seen this deck? It's called the Earth Warriors.
No. Oh, lovely.
Really gorgeous.
And it has an owl.
It's an oracle deck. It's called by Alana Fairchild. So this is a deck where when I'm actually working on this memoir or something very potent to do with my mission in the earth and being a warrior, I sometimes like use this for inspiration. Like I picked a card one day because I was like, how are we gonna get through this block? Like you and I had something we were working on and I had a block toward the end and I was like, oh man, is this ever gonna happen? And then the card was like very assuring, your voice is gonna be so important and all this stuff. But anyways, why I picked this up was the only thing that looks kind of like a kid's book. And so there's all these different animals and sages and people and rainbows and stuff. And what I see is like, oh, actually there's a little ocean there. So like in my third eye, I see like dolphins in the background on the book cover, and then like orcas like the main character.
Huh?
Yeah. And crystals will be in it. So it's like for ki crystal kids, rainbow kids. I'm gonna ask what other generations beyond the rainbow kids are there? Because I know there's waves of star
Right.
seeds.
Yes.
They're saying something about water now, in terms of the new kids. This is okay. This has come up twice. Have you ever heard the word Alanya? Alonia. I actually met someone in Mount Shasta named Alanya, so maybe that's why it's coming through. But um, They're just talking about the mystical waters. Have you ever been associated with like surfing at all?
No, other than living in Santa Barbara for 40 years.
Okay, well, you're in proximity to surfers.
Yeah, proximity, yes.
I don't know, they're just it just keeps kind of in like repeating itself. Like I keep seeing all these different fantasy images, a lot of things that would like appeal to kids, and I see like an emerald castle coming out of the water, and I see surfers, and then they're taking me all these fantasy worlds and emerald castles and stuff. This is a really fun reading. I haven't seen things like this that often. I'm just gonna ask the masters, teachers, and loved ones of the Akashic Record, what does Diane need to know right now or in this session today? If there's anything that we miss, any things we need to cover. Okay, so they're taking me to like your money vibrations, and I see a lot in your throat, and the message coming is don't be afraid to speak. Um, I'm getting really strongly library in Sedona.
Hmm.
They're saying there's nothing happening there, but you could be happening there.
There's a lot happening here.
Well, I mean,
In the under, yes, the
okay.
torrent.
But yeah, that was coming through magic at that podium. They're showing me because I've been in the library room where the speakers can be there, and there's like they're showing me, and you're showing you at the podium. There's like you're with your magic wand. Um, do you have how okay, how many books do you have now that you've published?
Uh, of my own, two.
Okay.
Only although one was translated into several languages.
Okay.
Crystal clarity.
It just feels like a lot of self-promotion related and being there, not afraid to get up and just do a self-promotional thing, bringing the books that you have, talking about what you have been up to, maybe some of the books you've produced for others.
For others, yeah, a lot. Nine this year, 10 including yours now.
And so, see, the library stack is getting taller as
The
you see.
10, yeah.
Oh, there's like this big mountain of books now. And so, see, there you go. Yeah. And I see zebra energy, which represents tribe there at the library. And they're saying there's at least two that could be checked out. Like, I don't know, are any of your books in their system?
In the Sedona system, I don't know. But in Santa Barbara, our libraries and our history
Yeah.
section has it. Crystal Clarity has been in several countries because I led workshops. And at the workshops, wherever, whatever city I was in, usually a shop would be selling it. So, but
Are there
this
any hard copies? I mean, hardcover books?
of the history of Santa Barbara Research Center, yes. That's a history of my aerospace career and of one company. So, yes, those came out in hardcover. Uh, the other one, no. It's meant to be a little workbook, kind of that you
Okay, well
just,
all I was picking up is this there's two books that could potentially be in their library system in Sedona.
oh yeah, this upcoming one is about world travels. My little monkey Jiwoo, uh, who I took with me, and he was a stand-in for a little Korean boy that couldn't walk, that was in a wheelchair. And I'll make it short, but so Jibu was with me, and I told the little boy, he's with me. So in all our travels, all colors of people, education, you know, physical, whatever, religious. And Jibu was an explorer. So he went to these sacred places. He went to all these places for that boy. And that boy is now 15 years old.
Wow.
So I have years. And yeah, so that book is forthcoming. And that's the main papers that are in my new office now.
Oh,
of
okay.
my book, of my book. I have a couple other writers on the that I'm working with, but so that's the one you're probably seeing.
And what was that one called?
I don't know yet.
Oh, okay.
Jiwoo's Travels, Jiwoo was the name of the little boy, hence the name of the monkey. So Jiwoo Jr.
How old is he?
The boy now is 15. He was 4 when I
Oh,
first met him.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, asking masters, teachers, and loved ones of the Akashic Records anything else she can do at this time, needs to know at this time. They're showing me a vibration of cat medicine, but it's a little more generalized. A lot of times I see the links, but I'm just seeing general like house orange house cat to me still symbolizes like an energy of
I get
leadership.
a bobcat in the backyard. Is that kind of,
You said you hit one?
yeah,
Oh,
yeah. Comes often and visits.
oh, okay, okay. Just the energy of leadership. So, what have you done in the realm of teaching before?
Mostly teaching about crystals. Uh, I taught laws of prosperity in the way past, but also systems engineering. And it was more like training, but it was a lot of teaching about what happens in aerospace, what our whole business was about. So teaching people about communicating between generations, because we'd have 5 generations of engineering people that didn't quite know how to communicate with each other. So
Hmm.
it was, I'm a bridge, and I was bridging that, but that's teaching,
Hmm.
right? How to communicate to when you're just out of college and have a whole different view of your work and life and how all that ties in together than, a 60-year-old person with 40 years of experience. So I find that pretty fun when you can teach people communication or teach people how to see magic. How do you
Hmm.
see magic? There's 2 parts, The aerospace people always said, what are you, NASA's spiritual guide? And the the people on the religious side would go, yeah, aerospace, that's as close as you'll get to the stars. So it's kind of both ways, and it is a lot of crossing worlds
Yeah. Yeah.
between them. So
Well, what do you want to know from the records about all of your teaching and magic and all of that? Can you come up with some questions around it?
I have a question about where I'm going next.
Okay. I right away I felt the Australia connection. Not necessary. I'm getting Melbourne.
Oh, I love Melbourne.
Okay. Um, I wish I knew more in this lower self about the maps there, because I hear weird sounds and I'm like, what is that? Like it's Illasui or something weird like that. Maybe it's a t name of a town, you know.
Maybe, yeah.
But that was secondary. It's more like yeah, you'll be based in Melbourne. Again, the number three. I don't know if it's 3 years or it's a master number. Let me ask.
Sacred number.
So they're showing me a staff of wisdom there. Like you have a strong connection to the elder community, whether it's living or living wisdoms of the elders. Okay, ask more about that. The place, a mission, anything you want to know about why you're there.
Oh, I meant after this earth, where's my next death?
Oh, after your that's a difficult one. Okay.
After being here.
Okay.
Now they don't even know yet. So uh I don't know. I'm just gonna be living my life. I see this next period, and hopefully it'll come out in the records that way as flourishing
Hmm.
the writing. And when you said about dancing, and I actually haven't had a TV, and I ordered the TV because I want to be dancing and have the music and have the, you know, follow something.
Hmm.
Just I want to be able to dance for spirit, and that's a big deal because being an engineer, you're kind of uh, eh,
Right.
and I want I want to break out of that
And so, oh, something you're developing right now?
just for myself. I'm just saying for myself
Uh-huh.
that dancing and my whole painting area is going to be over there, and my writing room is over here. So it's a it's a time of freedom and
Yeah.
expression.
Yeah. Okay.
So so I'll ask the guides and angels and the ancient ones to bless and support me through that. I'm listening.
Yeah, another thing they're showing me is to share this with you. These are some recent paintings. So I actually have an idea
Ah,
for another book called Sacred Sites Protector Workbook, Guidebook,
oh,
Guidebook.
I love it as a guidebook. And yes, that
And,
will be incredible.
hold on one sec. Here. So I'm sure you've experienced this, like in Australia, seeing spirals. So they're saying in addition to the dancing spiral and physical movement, you can still do some paintings
Ah,
of spirals. Maybe it gets you into a visionary state. I'm not sure, but they're showing me you doing a
okay.
similar practice of painting spirals. Okay, so they're connecting me to, how do you say it? Uluru?
Uluru, yes.
Uru?
Uluru.
Uluru. Yeah, because
Ulu.
I know what it is. I
UL, yeah.
say it. Okay, so for recording purposes, though, it's a sacred site in Australia, but where is
Here's
Ulu?
rock in the middle,
It's in the middle of the country. Okay.
roughly.
So they're telling me, like, they're showing me a medicine man with a staff, and they're saying, like, you're a fire keeper there at that rock, that you were there as a firekeeper for 3 or more lifetimes. And then they're showing me the rainbow serpent. Um, I'm sure there's like a many stories of the rainbow serpent. Are you familiar with them?
Some,
Okay. Yeah, this is the second time they showed me, so when I see it at least twice, I'm like, oh, it's time to talk about it. Okay. Um, okay, now they're just showing me your fire staff and your magic. Okay, so this is the message coming through to remember, for you to remember that, you know, because of conditioning of kids on the planet and humans in general right now and the AI technologies and stuff, it may be important to remind younger people that storytelling was done around the fire at night, and that was something I learned when I visited the grandfather Martin in Hopi, was that once the sun went all the way down, he started talking. I was like, whoa, because even like, and then as soon as the sun is down, he starts sharing all the stuff, and I was like, wow, okay, now is the time, and it was really cool. And then image I just saw was you at the fire with your staff, and then you're looking into the flame, and the flame is telling stories, and then you're just relaying what you see off of the flame to the people around you. It was really beautiful. Yeah, so you have a lot of records from all over the world. It's fun to play in your records. Let me ask more specifically. Tell me, record keepers, more about the rainbow serpent, what she needs to know about it. So I see a spiral on his head. So I see the head of the serpent, and on the head, there's a painting of a spiral on the top of his head. So to me, that would symbolize expansion and consciousness. But let me ask, has to do with the fire medicine, stars, star knowledge, and connection to star races, indigenous peoples, time travel, dream time medicine, star portals, interdimensional gates like Uluru, ley lines. And then the serpent. they're showing me with the spiral on his head. They're showing me like he's inside of some rocks and he's kind of slithering through the crack of the rocks, the surface, but he's able to, kind of live underground and then pop his head out. That's what I'm seeing. Um, yeah, transforming consciousness. And it seems to be also related to like they're showing me this rainbow serpent, but then also a boat. I've seen this image before, like in paintings, Aboriginal paintings, where there's a like a really pretty canoe boat and then designs on the boat and then like the serpent on the boat and then a bunch of people on the boat and then they're traveling up into the stars and going other places.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like well, I guess what I'm seeing vibrationally in the image is like you're maybe you're communicating to others who don't have any belief yet or curious about interdimensional traveling, that those images of the Aboriginal people help people who have that science mind to envision. That's what I'm getting. So, have you done much painting that kind of mimics Aboriginal paintings?
No, but my painting so far is very controlled. Except now my teacher is, her name is Luminous. I love that. Yeah,
Yeah, this is the one I think that ended up in the book too.
I
Yeah.
love that.
And what's fun about painting like this too is when you take a picture with a phone and you bump that contrast, you're like, "Whoa, it's even better than the painting."
Yeah, and they'll see that one in your books.
Yeah. Okay, so what were you saying? Your friend?
Oh, her name is Luminous.
Okay.
And part of learning art with her is breaking out of this, mental thing and feeling and painting again. So I'll be there. I'll be there. Anyway, I think I'm pretty connected
Yeah.
to my guides and spirits. And I learned about the Akashic Records when I was, I don't know, in my 20s. So that was a long time ago. But I just incorporate what I've been told and what I'm doing in my current life.
Mhm.
So, who knows how many more times I would like to come back just to see what happens.
You mean to
uh,
be reincarnated on Earth?
yeah, I like it here. And I focus on what's still here. And much like you, well, you're in your activism, I'm quiet. Uh,
Hmm.
I'm not out front leading the troops that way, but
Yeah.
rather one by one, by one by one, you change every person that you come in contact with.
Yeah.
So, and that's kind of how I operate, the under the support of people like you, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah, so the beliefs are there and the feeling is strong, and we just have to listen to experience,
Yeah.
listen to experience what the world is.
Yeah.
It, it's very
Well,
much alive.
I want to close soon, but I also think, obviously this is recorded, so I can go back to it in a later time, but I would like at some point in my own meditation, if it's okay with you, I'll call in your higher self. I'll let you know ahead of time. And I want to go back into that salon in France where
Yeah,
we crossed paths because there was still more information there. Um, Sometimes when you go into the records, there'll be like a firewall, like in the computers, like where you can only see a little bit at a time. And
Or a
then,
fireball in the consciousness.
yeah,
Because if you mention it, then I can release that. But you know,
right. But I don't know if I was being stopped for my purposes or for yours. In that vision, it was like I
uh,
could see us having a good relationship. I could see us, you were supporting my art. But what I know about that lifetime was there was a fire and the whole salon was destroyed. And that actually created a blockage for me in this lifetime. I had someone help me go into the Akashic Record and work on the fact I lost a lot of my art because it was burned in that salon. So it might be because it's just a little hard to watch what happened in that.
yeah.
Um, but I'll go into that another time. Okay.
See it from a different perspective, maybe.
Yeah, yeah. Hold on one moment. I'm gonna get sometimes things get lost. Okay. So it's okay if I close the records?
Sure.
I'd like to thank the masters, teachers, and loved ones for their love and compassion. I'd like to thank the lords of the Akashic Records for their points of view. And I would like to thank the Holy Spirit of Light for all knowledge and healing. The records are now closed. Amen. The records are now closed. Amen. Records are now closed. Amen. Thank
Let it
you.
push on. Yes.
Yay.
So
All
it is.
right. Well, have a good evening,
You
and
too?
I'll keep you posted about Amazon. They still haven't done their approval yet, and they still haven't fixed my phone number thing yet, but I sent in a request. So,
They'll release it on the day you specified.
okay, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll
Just
talk
got
soon. Bye for
okay. Bye for now. I love it.